Hello, my name is Gyanendra, and in this video lecture we are going to discuss about set and how to work with different kind of sets in Python. So let's start the video. Set is just like a list, but as we know in mathematical terms, a set can contain duplicate values. But in Python language, when we create a set and use the print function to see and visualize the set, it removes all the duplicate values of the set. This is the main feature of set in Python. So let's create a set a, and a is the name of the set, and we have set function. So curve brackets, and inside this 1 2 1 2 3 and 4, and let's print the set, print a, and shift enter. Okay, so as we can see, 1 2 3 4, the set has formed. Another way of creating a set is instead of using this set method, we can write the values inside curly braces. So as we can see, yes, the output is same, uh, but when in we want to create an empty set, we cannot use just curly braces. Like let me show you this. It will just create a dictionary. You may be seeing that we have no elements here, but it's just an empty dictionary. So instead of this, we need to use the set function, and we will not write any other element and print. Okay, so set, and inside bracket there is no element. So this is the way Python shows that the set is an empty set. Now, as I said previously, that set in Python removes all the duplicate values. So, like, let's add some duplicate values in this. There are two ones, a single 2 and a single 3. So, let's predict the output. The output should come 1, 2, and 3 instead of 1, comma 1, comma 2, comma 3. So let's run it, and yes, we can see duplicate values are removed, and we can see all the unique values without repetition. Now if we want to add an element in the set, we have a function by the name add. Python is a really simple language. Most of the time the functions will be similar to the words we use in our common languages. So let's add an element like 7. So and print a. Let's run it. So as you can see, 7 is added to the set a. And for example, now we want to add multiple values in a set. So have to use update function instead of add. So just for an example, let's add 7, erase it, 9 and 8. So let's run this cell. So as we can see, add function takes only one argument. So for adding multiple values, we need to use update function and 9 comma 8. Let's run it. Okay, sorry, we are working with set, so we need to use the square brackets to add these elements. And okay, now as we can see, 8 and 9 are also added in the set A. We can also add another set in a set. Like for example, let's make set B, which consists of like 11 and 12, and we need to add 13 and 14 to in set A. So we have update function, and let's write it. So this is the syntax for the values we want to add. Like we need to add 13 and 14 in set A, and set B also in set A. So this is the syntax, and let's write print command print A, and let's run it. So as we can see, 13 and 14 are added in set A, and had 11 and 12 as its elements. So 11, 12 are also added in the set. Now as we know, since we are adding elements to the set, there will come a chance that we will be removing some elements from the set too. So the function for removing elements from the set is remove. It's a simple language. So as I said previously too, the name of functions, predefined functions, will be same and similar to the words we use in common language and common times. So for example, I want to remove number 13 from the set. So we need to write a dot remove, and inside it 13, and print a. So as you can see, 13 has been removed from the set. We have another function by the name discard, which performs the same way just like remove, but has a slight difference, which I will tell you. Just wait for a minute. And it's like discard, and for example I want to remove number 14 from the set A, and print A. Okay, so let's execute. Yes, we can see 14 has been removed or discard from the set A. So usually the main difference between remove and discard, the main and the only difference between this is that if we use remove function like I have used and entered number 13. So I will explain it using practical code. Like if I use remove function for an element which is not there in the set, as we can see 22, 22 is not there in the set. So as I write 22 inside the remove function and execute it, it will show the key error. And instead of this, if I use this in discard method, it will not show any error. So this can be considered as a plus point of using discard function, that when we work in a really large database, and we want to delete any kind of values from it. Like for example, we have 10,000 of numbers, and we need to delete a specific number. So using the remove function, and it will show us an error, so it acts as a demotivating types. Although we have the knowledge that that number might not be in the list, but it's how the human mind works. So instead of that, we can use the discard function, and even if it's not in the list or the database, it will act like it was and the number has been deleted. Now, as in set, we know there are various functions like intersection, difference, and symmetric difference. So, similarly, we have functions in Python too for working with sets. For example, we need elements, common elements between set A and set B. So, for obtaining common elements, we will write the code D is equals A dot intersection and B. So it will give us common elements between A and B. So let's print D and run it. So okay, so it's showing the wrong output because I use the same name for different sets. Let's name it P. Let's name it Q, and this one as R. So also we need to change the code, and here we will write Q and print, let's say T. Okay, so on executing the code, yes, as we can see, 2 and 3 were the common elements between P and Q, and it gave us the output 2 comma 3. Similarly, we can also give it two sets, like common elements between all the three sets. So we need to just add the name, and it will give us the output. So let's predict the output. As we can see, 3 is the only common element between all these sets. Let's execute it. Okay, so as we can see, the output is 3 and the code is correct. Similarly, we have a function by the name difference. So the main target of using that function, that it gives us the value which is present in, for example, in set P and not in set Q. So we will write the function and just change, instead of intersection we need to write difference, and let's run it with only one set at a time using u, and let's execute. Okay, it's showing an error. Let's check it. So it's just a spelling error, and let's execute. Okay, so as we can see, the only element P had and not Q was 1, so we got the output 1. And this function can be used with two sets too, like what is the element common, not common, only different between PQ and R. So let's execute it, and it's also 1. So basically the output can be explained as like an element which is only with P and not present in Q and also in R. So also if we want an element that is present in Q and not in R and also in P, so we just need to change the order, and let's execute the code. Okay, so just for an example, let's add number 6 also in this. So we all need the output will be number 6. So let's execute this code. Okay, it's still showing an empty set. Okay, so let's execute it. Okay, now the output, as we can see, the output has came 6, as 6 is the only common element, not common element, as only different element between PQ and R. So there will come a time that we will be needing to know that which element is unique to P as well as to set Q. So by the meaning you can understand that in mathematical terms, the term used to define this kind of function is symmetric difference. So similarly we have symmetric underscore difference. Usually the functions are a bit long, but it's okay since the function name is similar and easy to remember. So let's run it with P and Q. So as let's predict the output should be 1 comma 4 comma 6, and let's run this. Okay, so the output came as we predicted. So as we can see, 1 4 and 6 were the only elements. Now all these intersections, symmetric difference and difference functions used can be used in the real life problems. Like for an example, so here we have three different sets, and let's consider it a data of a company. Employee represents the name of all the employees, and gym member gives us the names of the employees which are all gym members, and developers gives this it gives us the names of the employees which work as developers. So like if we want to know which employees are gym members and developers at the same time, so since this set is too small, we can directly uh, see and tell like what are the common members. But usually the database consists of thousands of names, so it's not an easy task. So for that we have to write the code, and it goes like uh, so here I have modified a bit of changes in the sets. So basically they are same as I explained before. So for example, as I said, we need members who are both gym members and developers. So for that we have the code gym member dot intersection developers, and let's print. And okay, as we can see, Arpit and Seema are the common members, and they are gym members as well as developers. Cool. Now if we want to know the employees who are neither gym members and neither developers, so for that we have to change the code and employee, and for that we need the difference function and not the intersection one, as the difference functions meaning we know. So that let's write developers comma gym underscore members, and let's execute it. Okay, so it's not defined. Okay, sorry, I've written the name incorrectly. My mouse is a little more sensitive than it needs to be, and uh, let's execute it. And as we can see, Jagan and Zenith, both of them are neither gym members nor developers. So in this real life situations, we can use sets and its various operations. Just So for sometimes, let's for an example, let's say we need to create a set from 1 to 60, like it has elements from 1 to 60. So for that we need to import the numpy file, and as it's used in working with numbers and stuff. So it consists of a function by the name arrange function. So I will show you the syntax. Okay, it's double. Let's erase one of them. And the arrange function, it consists of three parameters. The one is usually the starting point from where we need to start the set, and the second one is the end point, and the third one is like interval, we can say. Like in this I am printing a set from 1 to 10, and it should have a difference of 1. Like if instead of 1 I like 2, write 2, and so the output will become like 1, 3, and 4, not 4, 5, and blah blah blah. So as I said, let's print 1 to 60 elements. So instead of 60 I have to write one more, and the difference between the elements will be 1. And I am making this as a set, this ARR as a set, and printing it since I need a set. Let's print it. So as we can see, curly braces are the ones used to represent sets in Python. So 1 to 60 has been represented. So basically this is all for this lecture. We have learned all the basic functions used to work with sets and what is set in Python language. So this is all. Thank you for your time. Like, share and subscribe. Jai Hind.